Okay. I have been able to do so. So we're currently recording this. So I'm going to share my screen. I'll go ahead and share my screen. And
thank you for recording me.
All right. So I believe everyone can see my screen right now. So the first thing first to do is to open a new Excel file. Please, can everyone see my screen? Just indicate if you can. Just thumbs up or any reaction. All right. Thank you so much. What to sing. Okay. So this is a new Excel sheet. This is a new Excel sheet, and
Why could go to Michelle? Do one more. Yeah.
okay. The first thing to do is to import your data into the Excel sheet because we're asked to import the data into the Excel sheet. So that's the first thing we'll be doing. We'll be importing our data into Excel. And in order for us to do that, I'm going to talk as though we are all experts because I want to believe we have been able to gain some good knowledge of this so far. So you head over to data at the home ribbon and select from text. And I am trying to look for sales transaction data. I could easily search for it, but I'm hoping I see it somewhere. Desktop, please. Be serious. Okay, I'm trying to get the sales transaction data. Okay. Yeah. Then get data. So when you click on get data, it's going to come looking this way, and you click on next and next, and then finish. So you're going to see where do you want to put the data. I actually want it to start from A, where it says that's the first column, first row. Okay. So we're going to give it some time so that it will load up the data. And here we have our data. So I believe we all have this similar data. This is the data that most of us have here. And the data is very, very much disarranged. The data is not actually in order at all. The data is very disarranged. So the first thing to do is insert the filter. So I inserted the filter so that I'll be able to even know what I am doing. I have this extra excess that came in. Delete the row. Delete the row. So here we have everything, and I am trying to make sure everything fits. That is what I'm just trying to do. I'm trying to make sure it fits so that nothing will be lingering like halfway. I want to just see everything the way it is. But I will do that as we progress. So the first thing in our business requirements, if you've been able to do this, the next, I get rid of this. Good. So if you've been able to do this, in our business requirements document, which we all have, stated that we should create a new Excel workbook, name the workbook Superstore dataset. So this is sales transaction data that came in. And I'm going to proceed to rename mine Superstore dataset. Superstore. Superstore dataset. So I have named my file Superstore dataset. Yeah, Tosin, your hand is up.
Okay, so I think it is the entire sheet that is Superstore data set. Why this sheet? The entire workbook that is Superstore data set. Why this current sheet is like I've forgotten that three.
Okay. The name of the file is going to be Superstore dataset. Yeah, now I get you. Thank you. And then this is going to maintain sales transaction data, but I just want to leave it as Superstore datasets. But the entire file will be named as Superstore datasets. Please, my back and forth, but we'll definitely get it right. Okay. And then they said in the workbook, using an existing or newly inserted worksheet, rename the worksheet sales transaction data. So you have to rename this worksheet sales transaction data, which is what Tosin pointed out. She said the file is going to be Superstore dataset, but this is going to be sales transaction data. Please, I am going to leave it this way, but use your business requirement to rename yours. So, and then the third line said, in the same workbook, using another existing or newly inserted worksheet, rename the worksheet returned item. So I'm going to open a new worksheet. I know most of us just jumped into cleaning this, but I want to believe we're able to import those other worksheets. And I'm going to name this worksheet returned item. But before I do that, I will have to import the returned item data. Please, can you turn off your camera? I don't know whose camera is on. Please turn it off. Thank you. Okay, goodness.
Okay, please, Maureen, my headers did not come in as headers. I don't know why. It just came in as text in the cells. They did not come in as headers.
Your headers did not come in as headers.
Yes, they did not appear as, the column names.
Mm-hmm.
It just appeared like, just part of the cells. Like your own now, you can see that they have filters as column names.
I just
I don't
inserted
know.
the filters. I don't know when you joined, but I inserted the filters. It did not come in this way. It came in normal. I just inserted the filter.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
So the next one we're going to do is I said we should insert a worksheet and name it returned item. So in this worksheet, we're going to, if you realize this, the data we're working with, we have 4 different files: returned items, and then regional managers, and then the new business requirements. So in this one, you're going to import returned items. Get data, same thing. Next, next, finish. Okay. So I have imported the returned item. Double click on this to rename it returned item. So this is returned item. And then the next thing is said that we should, in the same workbook, using another existing or newly inserted worksheet, rename the worksheet regional manager. So I'm going to open another worksheet and import regional manager into it. So now here I have the regional managers in this one. So I'm going to name this sheet regional managers. So I've been able to bring in all our data sets. For the benefit of those that will actually just want to copy everything direct, I think I will rename this thing because the probability of me seeing somebody still leaving theirs as this is there. Okay. So they said, using the appropriate method, import the sales transaction data into the sales transaction worksheets. Using the appropriate method, import the returned item. We have actually done all of this. So now, the first thing in the data exploration and understanding said we should investigate and explore each. What do I have this showing? I don't even want it is hide. Yes. Okay. Investigate and explore each of the field variables column. So that's now where your data analyst expertise comes in. You bring in the data you want to check. This is row ID. Row ID should mean like number. So are these numbers? Other ID. Are these numbers? Other dates. This does not look like dates. You should have a paper to point it out. Okay, other date is not dates. Will need to be cleaned. Other priority. Okay. Other quantity. Other quantity doesn't look like quantity. It looks like dates. You take note of that. That is what this first thing you invest. That is what investigating the data is like. Investigating your data is you taking your time to go over your data to see if everything is in order in your data before you call it a clean data or before you can proceed analyzing. So the next question said that we should, how many records, row, or transactions are there? So in order to do that, I don't know how it works for Windows, but I think the same thing should work for Windows. I usually just use Command Shift in mine, and I get to see the last. I see the last, instead of me to start scrolling up and down, I use Command Shift arrow down, and I see the very last thing in the file. I think in Windows, it should be Control Shift, then arrow down. It will give you the same thing to see the very last, the last number of the data. So they have actually told us that it's going to be 8,400. So for reconfirmation, I had to do it. Those using Mac, it is Command Shift arrow down. And then the next question was, and if you want to go up, the same thing, Command Shift arrow up. So I'm back up where it is. I don't need to start doing, how long will I do for 8,000 something data? So it is Command Shift arrow down, Command Shift arrow up, Control Shift arrow down, Control Shift arrow up, those using Windows. Okay, and then the next one, it said, how many variables are in each data set? So now this first sales transaction, highlighting everything, I can see that it is